from lindaspapercraft.co.uk, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK as well. And welcome to January 2022. Happy New Year. So this month I'm joining with the Stamp Around UK team, and we're doing a video hop, and this month's theme is stamping. So I'm going to use this stamp, which is the Art Gallery stamp, which is a 2-step stamp set, and then I've gone for a cool palette today. So we've got Smoky Slate, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape and Just Jade. So a nice cool palette. I'm looking forward to using this. Right, so let's pop these all off to one side. And just another, a couple of words about the video hop. All the links to the rest of the videos are in the comments underneath. So once you've watched my video, go on to the details underneath the video and you'll get a link for all the other videos in the hop. And so hop around and have a look. We've got some amazingly talented designers with us this month, so it's well worth a look round. I can't wait to do it myself because I haven't seen any of them yet, so that'll be quite good. And we're here every month on the 1st of the month at 6 p.m. in the evening, so look forward to seeing you in February as well. Right, so let's get started. So I've sort of got in my head what we're doing. I'm starting with a Highland Heather base, a grapefruit grove. Gorgeous grape. Grapefruit grove is a definite blast from the past. Gorgeous grape matte, and then some basic white. And what I've done is stamped this little posy of flowers in the grey around to give me a background, and then I'm going to decorate it with the flower and some leaves also in the Gorgeous Grape and the Highland Heather. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off, I've got all my bits cut already. So as I say, card blank 21 centimeters by 14.85, and then scored at 10.5 centimeters, giving you basic A6 card blank. Then I've cut this 0.5 centimeter smaller, so this is 10 centimeters by 14.4, and then I just wanted a very narrow border around, so I've just knocked 3 millimeters off rather. So it's 9.7 by 14.1, so it just gives a little frame around, so you still get to see quite a bit of the Highland Heather, and we've just got that little defining frame around the edge. Okay, and then I've also got a couple more pieces. Now this I've embossed using the Paint Effect embossing folder, and this is 6.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and then I've got another Gorgeous Grape matte, which is also 6.5 by 10 centimeters. And what I plan to do with this is just overlap them slightly so that they layer up nicely. Yeah, I think that's very silly. Often you find, because I cut this and then popped it through the embossing folder, and it has stretched it slightly, so I'm just going to trim that back down to 10 centimeters, so it's the same height as that one. So just get my trimmer out quickly and pop that in at 10 centimeters. Yeah, it's only just. I'm just wondering if that's not quite 10 centimeters. That's the problem. Right, okay, so that's actually about 9.8, so I'm just going to take that. I also have a guillotine, and sometimes I think the guillotine does cut slightly different. I do tell people, if you started cutting on one machine, continue cutting the whole thing on one machine, but clearly I didn't. Right, I make these mistakes so you don't have to. I think that needs to be my hashtag, to be honest. Right, okay, so we've got all the pieces, and then I've taken from my scraps a piece of basic white to do my stamping on. So now, because it's a 2-step stamp set, and I've got one here that I made earlier to show you, I find the best way to do it is on a Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring mine out now. So this is a stamping platform, and it's really good when you're doing your overlaying stamps that you can actually stamp in the same place twice, 3 times, 4 times, but it's also easy. You can line up things much easier as well. So I'm just going to position that there, and I'm going to get the largest stamp out of here. What I didn't say is this set does come with dies, and I'm going to use the dies to cut out the flowers and leaves. Right, so, and it's currently a bundle in the annual catalogue. So the dies are sticking to the magnet. Right, so I'm just going to pop that just like that on there. Okay, and then pick it up using my Stamparatus. Reposition your paper afterwards because they do tend to stick. And then we're going to do this one with Highland Heather. So just get this out of the way, move this across. So I'm just going to use my stamp pad just to ink up, and I do find it easier if I put my hand underneath, because then I'm actually putting the ink down flat. So, and then I'm just going to close that. And I've seen all these people using these like whiteboard markers and stuff to spread out their ink, but I've just found this lying around at home. I've no idea what it is, but I think that's going to do the job for me. Having said that, it does seem to have missed that little bit there. There we go. Waste not, want not, as we always say. So there you are. So there's the image. Now, if you wanted it darker, you could just stamp it again with the Highland Heather, but I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to wipe my stamp down. Now, if you were making loads of these cards, what you can do is leave that there, turn this over, and then you could stamp, well, I'm going to do that, we can stamp the next layer without taking the original stamp off. So as long as you put your paper exactly where I've got it now, you can make numerous of these flowers if you mass produce cards. Right, so now the trick is here. This is the other thing I've got. This is why I'm using the Stamparatus, because you can then line up your stamp with the stamp underneath, with the image underneath, so that you've got the details. So I'm sort of lining up that peak and that peak there. Just let me have a look. Yes, I'm happy with that. So, and then I'm going to pick that up using the Stamparatus. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to come in with the gorgeous grape. And we are going to stamp with that. So again, holding it up so you're stamping the stamp straight. What I often say to my new stampers, if you don't actually have any blocks already and you're a bit worried about the quality of your stamping, a Stamparatus is actually a really good investment. It's cheaper than buying all the blocks, and also you get multiple tries with your stamping. So, because if it doesn't quite work out, you know, if you've missed a bit, then you can just re-ink and go back in again. So it's really useful tool to have. And as I say, if you've no blocks, it's by far the cheapest way. And look, so now we've got a lovely three-dimensional flower there, done with the two different stamping. How gorgeous is that? I just love it. It does happen to be in my favourite colour, which always helps. So, although, well, it's my favourite stamping colour. My favourite clothes colour is red. Different colours for different occasions, I suppose. Right, I waffle. So I'll pop that away. And now I'll just get the green. And because the leaves are just a single stamp, I am going to use a block. I could have used a Stamparatus, excuse me, as well. Okay. And again, I'm just taking, because it's a fairly big stamp, taking the ink to the stamp. Happy with that. And then I'll just stamp the leaves a little bit further up. There we go. A bit of gold paper there. Okay, so there you go. So that's the stamping of the flower and leaves. And now I'm going to show you how to do the background which again is stamped. So, and I'm just going to position that on the block, and again this time I'm using the smoky slate, and I'm wanting the flowers to look like they're sort of growing from round about the middle of the card. So each time I'm stamping, we're moving it around, and you want to be going off the page, because then it does look like you've sort of cut this from a bigger piece. Very cleverly with it all lining up. So I'm just going to pop one just there. And then we'll have one coming in here. I'm just doing them randomly really, but just trying to do them sort of from the same point. And this middle area will actually be covered. I am hammering my stamp pad slightly because it does need a re-ink, but I've actually treated myself and I've ordered a new stamp pad with a new design. So I've had this one about 6 years, so it's still, you know, I'm not going to get rid of it. It's just I will have another one. And there we go. Okay, so I've stamped all around the outside there with my flowers. I love stamping my backgrounds. You don't have to do it just one colour, you could do it lots of different colours. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually stamp a whole piece of A4 paper and then cut it up into pieces to make cards. It's a really good technique, and as I say, you can make your own designer series paper. So with the magic of television, I have die cut my leaf and my flowers and my leaf, and I've got everything else I need here, so we'll just build it up. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this on here first, I think, with my trusty Tombow multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to stick this onto here. So it's just a case of now building the card. And remembering it's a very tiny. What I do is I line it up on 3 sides first, and then just adjust while the glue's still wet, and then press it down when you're happy with it. And then we can turn that over. And glue this onto the front of the card. There we go. And then I'm going to make what we call the topper. So this has got the paint effect and the white, so they're going to slightly offset each other. So I'm actually just going to glue the white, so I know it's going to go right up to the top but not quite right down to the bottom. Okay, and again I'm going to put quite a fine border on the 2 sides, and as I say, I'm using wet glue, so you can always chivvy it about. It will go there until you're happy with it, and then press it down. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to pop the flower up on dimensionals. That's just working out where I want it. So it's sort of going that way, isn't it? We'll do that. Right, so let's glue. Now I'm going to be a bit different with the leaves. I'm actually going to glue and put on dimensionals, so that you've got like a mixed effect. So the leaves are going to go on dimensionals, but the stem is going to be glued. Now, I had a few goes at making this card. I did do the original one on vellum, but I wasn't happy with the outcome, which is why this has still got some tape already on it from when I used a vellum and peeled it off. So yeah, as I always say, a card isn't finished until you've decided it's finished, and if you're not happy, then, you know, you can reuse the bits again if you're careful removing them. So, and then we'll pop some glue on as well, because that tape's looking a bit like it's probably not going to stick it. I don't use wet glue on vellum because it curls. It doesn't like getting wet, doesn't vellum? Right, so let's see. So we decided it was probably going to be around there. So I've taken the tops off the dimensionals. I am sticking this down. Just holding it a few seconds so it's stuck. There we go. And then you can see the leaves come off away from the card. I think that's brilliant. It's a technique we learnt at the last Stampin' Up on stage, of mixing glue and dimensional, which I'd never used before, and I was really impressed. I was watching it with my downlines and they were like, ooh! Never thought of doing that. So let's find some bigger dimensionals. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some dimensionals onto the flowers. And, you know, we're almost finished here. I'm not going to put a sentiment on, but you could. There's so many nice sentiments with this set. And it also has a die that cuts them out, which is really nice as well. So there we go. So that's the flower with the 3D effect of the leaves and the flower. And because I might post this card, I'm actually going to glue it flat. If you knew you were going to hand it to someone, or you don't mind paying the extra postage, then you could put this on dimensionals as well. So okay, and there we are. So almost monochrome card, apart from that little splash of green. So, but I'm really happy with that. I think that's come out really, really well. If you did want to put a sentiment on it, you could just cut a little strip perhaps, and then maybe stamp. Shall we do that? Thinking of you. I'm going to do that. Right. I'm actually... Okay, thinking of videoing. It's never a brilliant idea with me because I do tend to waffle on. Right, so I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of Gorgeous Grape. And just inking that up lightly. It's a very fine font, so you don't want too much pressure with your ink pad because you'll end up with it all over the place. And it's coming off my ink pad. Just let me... Yeah, I'm going to stamp it again. Oh, you see, this is what happens when I go off-piste. Live on camera. Okay. There we go, that's better. So I'm thinking of you. How beautiful is that? And then we're going to get our mini die cutter out. It's just up here. So I'll just keep it on top of my shelves so it's nice and easy to find. There we go. Pop that there. I'm actually going to do it that way. Let's cut this off. There we go. These dies work better if you can put them on a slight angle, so that the whole of the flat bit isn't hitting the rollers at the same time. Okay, so as I say, these dies fit the sentiments beautifully. So I'm thinking of you. Okay, I'll just roll that through. bottom there. How cute is that? Let's stick with the mini dimensionals, which are over there. Two. Just going to roll that one off and put it in the middle, and then a third one. There we go. And I think that'll finish it off nicely. So as I say, it's part of the Stamp Around the UK blog hop, video hop even, and if you go down and look in the comments, in the detail section rather, you'll find all the links to all the other blogs, vlogs, videos. Have a hop round, and there will be some amazing ideas in there, lots of stamping techniques, I'm sure. Hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, hit like. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love you to do so. It all helps every little bit, and we'll see you next month for February's Stamp Around the UK. Take care. Bye.